Yes, yeah, I know, I'll hear about it tonight, I'm sure. I'm sure the community will be there.
Yeah, we looking for money right now, to build City Hall.
Yeah.
You, need a motion?
I think just for the incentive of the record, I would prefer a motion saying yes, that you'd like to have me submit this through the Restore Committee.
With the understanding of what our discussion has
Yes.
been here. Okay, I'll make that motion.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? That motion carries.
I'm not saying more about that unless, Eddie, you want to say something.
If I may, just right quick, I would like to put a little bright ending on this and compliment Alan for coming Saturday. He spent 2 long hours in the time he didn't feel too well and did an excellent job in explaining and answering questions and really helping us process the thoughts of how to deal with this. And he was a big help. Thank you for allowing him to attend. Thank you, Alan, for attending.
We're gonna send you a bill.
I'm sorry, do it.
We'll send you a bill.
Let's
one-
just say Alan has dealt with Alligator Point quite a few years.
Yeah.
And one more thing real quick, I did go with Alan after last meeting to
Yeah.
Alligator Point.
Yes, sir.
And if we don't do something with that road, there's gonna be more homes in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
I mean, you can see the Gulf just coming to the homes and the homes all, some people's abandoned their homes. He was showing me all this different stuff. We went down to Ball Point Road, which I've never been to the end of Ball Point Road, so I did take a visit down there just for
Good.
public's
Yeah, you
information.
saw the 2 lights, yeah. Oh,
Right.
nice, yeah. Good.
Move forward, Alan.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
we're gonna make sure Alan gets the first toll pass.
Move forward.
All right, so I need to, item number 4, item number 5, inform the board that I was contacted by Ms. Sherry McFall, Grants Manager with DEM on Wednesday, May 11th, to let me know that she will be our contact for all PW associated with Hurricane Hermine. I asked her to check on the status of large PW for fixing Alligator Drive. I told her it was very important that that PW process promptly. I followed up with the other DEM staff that I know, because it's imperative that our PW does not get lost with a change in their personnel. And I'm hoping to hear back shortly from Ms. McFall about where the PW is, because it has not been obligated yet, and she, it's in the queue, and I said, well, no, it needs to be in the top of the queue, no, none of the second stuff. The lights, the last page here, I've sort of already covered, but I just, I'm not read it hard. So there are 3 perils associated with this road down there, and I sort of mentioned them at the end of the meeting, but I want to emphasize them here, sort of on behalf of the public. Just to remind people that hurricane season is only 15 days away, and that PW that's going to protect that road from Hurricane Hermine has not been approved, so there will be no additional protection on that road during the entire 2007 hurricane season. We don't have any funds to do it, we don't have permission to do it, so if that road washes out, Commissioner Lockley, we may be building a toll bridge. I don't know what we're going to do, I really don't. The problem is, it's not going to be just 2017 hurricane season. B, I was advised by Ms. McFall that it's cost of large PW will be required to go through an environmental assessment. We are currently doing an EA on the relocation of Gulf Shore Boulevard, and it will take 9 months before that's completed. And I have a typo here. If we're required to do an EA, and it should say Alligator Drive, not Gulf Shore Boulevard there. If it's just on Alligator Drive, the scenario exists where no additional protection will be available for the 2018 hurricane season as well. I mean, so we are just increasing our chances of something bad happening out there. But there's no, if the state and the feds make us get an environmental assessment, it's a federal law, and all I can do is hope that they don't require us to do that. And so I've asked her to check on that. And then C, despite Governor Scott's personal visit to Alligator Point almost 10 months ago, and despite a letter by the Secretary of DOT to FEMA asking that FEMA provide assistance, neither the state nor federal government provided any tangible assistance for the road. I remind the residents that they have a voice in all levels of government, and they need to call their governor to find out why nothing has been done down there. If the governor does not approve the waiver that is still in the hopper, and I emailed his office yesterday or Friday, if the governor does not approve the waiver for the local match required for the FEMA funds that we've already asked for, and if that project comes in at a higher cost, I'm here to tell you that we have $400,000 in the Ballpoint Trust Fund, and if we have to spend more than 12.5% match, or let's say it's a $5 million project, there's not enough money in the Ballpoint Trust Fund. So, ladies and gentlemen, this road is going to, if we aren't lucky, or let me put the negative, if we are unlucky, you're going to find out this road is going to start to tap into the general taxpayer of Franklin County. It's a big problem. It's your biggest problem in front of
Well,
your
if you don't have no money budget, how's it gonna tap into it?
I don't know. That's why it's going to be a big problem.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to let you know that I told the people down there that this is a bad situation, or could be a bad situation. And the last item all right, two more. Inform the board the environmental assessment for the relocation of Gulf Shore Board is proceeding. We hope to get the 60-day notice out shortly, and it looks like there will be no finding, no significant impact, so I think we'll get the FEMA money that's already allocated for that thing to be spent. And then the last item is the airport. I guess we're way behind schedule, but the airport did pass its inspection without any issues on runway 1836. So Jason Puckett and everybody did a good job of getting that airport inspection approved, and we're off and running for another year. And that's my report. Oh, one last item. Pam and I did talk briefly. She would like to have some no camping signs posted at Old Caribou Beach and other places where people are summer and they're going down there camping, and then they're cooking out, and it's creating a sort of vagrancy, litter, nuisance problem, and so no camping. In the 70s, the board passed an ordinance about no camping on public beaches, and we need to get some signs up to reinstate that.
Okay, so we already have an ordinance.
Yeah, I
just
just
want better signage.
Yeah, we need to put some
Well, I
signs.
wanted it at Lombardi's, I wanted it out there at Abercrombie.
Okay.
All these county parks, we have an ordinance and the law
Yeah.
says no overnight camping, then we need signs for all these places, not just.
They had some out
the
there at
ordinance.
Caribou Beach,
Huh?
I don't know why.
Mr. Chairman, we'll need to amend the order. Lombardi never existed. I mean, we have
Well-
several new parks that did not exist.
Yeah, but it may just say no camping at county
Well, I'll pull
parks.
it up and see. If we need to amend it, then I'll bring it back to you and we'll amend it.
Could we get a motion to direct
So moved.
the attorney to look at that ordinance, if it needs amended, amend it, bring it back to the board? We have a motion by Commissioner Sanders, seconded by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed, that motion carries. Okay,
Thank you.
is that all you got? All right, well, next in line would be Mr. Michael Morone, County Coordinator Report.
And they need you to sign, there for this, that's for the ordinance, and, there, no, I'm sorry, up here where. All right, item number 2, we already addressed item number 1 this morning. Inform the board that the Department of Environmental Protection, through Natural Resource Damage Assessment Funding, NERDA, has started the advertisement of the bid process for Indian River Creek Park boat ramp improvements and for Waterfront Park, also known as Lombardi's improvement. Indian River Creek Park boat ramp will receive a new approach and boat ramp, access gangway and floating dock, and an ADA parking space for vehicle and boat trailer. There will also be new sidewalk and minor grading and roadway improvements. Waterfront Park, also known as Lombardi's, will undergo renovation to the existing concrete building so it can become an education center and museum along with an educational kiosk. A pavilion will be constructed along with an elevated boardwalk with railings. Railings will be installed at the existing dock along with an ADA parking space and the sidewalk to the dock. There'll be new parking area along with interconnecting sidewalks, new chain link fencing, 2 gates with directional signage, and traffic barriers and bullards. In addition, the existing metal building and elevated slab will be demolished.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
can I ask a question, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
On both of these, I know that it's already been put out for bid or whatever, on the approval to get it done. Before it goes to the final step of actual construction, we'll see how it's supposed to look when through, right?
Yes, I can actually get the architect reviews
Okay.
and stuff.
The reason I'm
right
asking,
now.
I didn't want to come up with another surprise like we did the other day with the boat ramp close to the island.
Yeah, I was saying
When we
that.
thought we thought they're wanting to do one thing, and what they're wanting to actually do is completely
Yeah.
different.
Okay,
So
I'll get
that's
some, a
why
set
I'm
of site plans you can see.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll say, Commissioner Jones, this has been very frustrating because these are projects the county submitted years ago.
Yes, sir.
Years ago.
Yes, sir.
And the state of Florida's taken these on, they've designed them, they've designed them without necessarily our input. And
Right.
now they're going to bid with our input, and they're gonna manage the construction without our input. It's very frustrating for projects that we thought were gonna benefit us, and we have some input. No input.
Okay.
Or
Thank you.
limited input.
Yes, sir.
Believe it or not, it's about money. They
Oh, no, I
Get to
believe
retain a lot of the administrative costs. Item number 3, inform the board that Mr. Billy Fuentes, East Point Water and Sewer District Administrator, sent a letter thanking the board for his assistance and cooperation regarding the Franklin County Jail lift station. I'll read the contents of the letter into the official minutes. There, Honorable Board of County Commissioners, on behalf of the East Point Water and Sewer District Board, please accept this letter as a small token of our appreciation for all of your assistance and cooperation regarding the Franklin County Jail lift station and the settlement of the previous legal issues between our two boards. We're excited for the upcoming construction of the new station, which we hope will serve the people of Franklin County for many years. We look forward to continuing to build upon our mutual relationship and foster a continued spirit of cooperation. Commissioner, the reason I read this, most of you realized there was a rough relationship between us and the East Point Water and Sewer District, the board. I will say Attorney Schuler and Mr. Fuentes have done an excellent job kind of bridging us and getting us back as all in one team rather than us versus them. And that was the main reason for me reading the contents of that letter. Attorney Schuler did a very, very good job. Item number, we did 4 already. Item number 5. Board action to hire Mr. Dan Garlick to obtain an environmental resource permit for the county. This permit is a Northwest Florida Water Management District requirement and would allow county staff to complete the site plan for the soccer, football field, and basketball court at D.W. Wilson Park. This permit has become necessary as there are wetlands in the section of the area that is part of the park's expansion project, which I showed earlier. The cost of this service should be less than $5,000 and can be reimbursed from the grant if there are available funds.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor.
I need to say something if I may.
All right.
You're jumping the gun here a little bit.
Really?
I think that the first thing you do is do a feasibility assessment, which includes having a meeting with the Water Management District. If you go into the ERP, you got to think about, there's already objections to, as we all know, to the project. We also have engineering and surveying things that will come up. So there's an alternatives analysis issue that you're going to have to go through with the federal government, because we've got the federal government to get a permit from them as well. So what I'm recommending is to let me do a feasibility assessment first so I can lay out your options, because
Yeah, because actually, I talked to the water manager just, and I made an initial contact with Dan. They actually want a pre-application meeting anyway.
That's part of this.
So we just want to get you as, as our consultant to
Yeah.
assist in that
To start the
process.
Trying to hire you.
I understand, but then, what I'd like to do is come back in options so you know what your full, plate is, because,
Okay.
So I would say we're recommend Dan be our consultant on this project, not necessarily on this permit, but on this project.
That works?
yeah, because like I
We
say.
gotta do it. I mean, we got to move forward to get these kids to soccer field, so.
Yes, ma'am.
Understand,
Yes, ma'am.
understand.
If we're gonna be forced to take the action that we've taken and get all these different
Yeah,
permits,
but-
we gotta do it.
The reason I mention is because, let's say we get beyond the point of, we can't avoid the wetland, so we go ahead and apply for the permit. Basically, one of the criteria is to minimize the impact. If you don't minimize the impact, then you start looking at mitigation. So you got some other things to consider as you go along. Construction is one thing, but doing the mitigation is another, so.
Okay, well,
Okay.
that's your ball.
All right,
You
I
want
just
the
wanted to let
job?
you know. I'm just saying that it's gonna get out of scope when you start talking about engineering and surveying too. There's gonna be some other cost involved.
Well, you just keep us informed of what we're
Absolutely,
facing.
absolutely.
In the
Okay.
meantime, what do you want a motion for, to hire Dan
So
Gardner for the
you want to
job?
say permit and project or consultant for the how do you want?
I'd say,
to word the
right now, I'd say consultant for doing a development feasibility assessment. Let me bring a report back to you.
Amend my motion to reflect that.
motion? Cheryl, the clerk got that.
Do we have a second?
I can give another second.
We got Commissioner Jones here with a second. So we have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number
Unanimous.
6, board action to authorize the chairman's signature on a waiver and a joint participation agreement. These documents would allow for the purchase and installation of the mobile surveillance camera systems in the vehicles operated by the county's community transportation coordinator that provides our transportation disadvantage program. The board approved this request at your June 21st, 2016 meeting. They're finally getting the paperwork to purchase the equipment and
So
install it.
moved.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Lockley. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Board action to authorize the chairman's signature on Career Source Gulf Coast request for an extension to provide direct services. Based on the attached memo, the Department of, which I didn't attach, Department of Economic Opportunity has notified CSGC if they want to continue as provider of direct services, a formal request for an extension is required. Some of the direct services provided by CSGC to Franklin County is accepting job orders from employers and assisting in locating eligible job seekers, helping job seekers register in the Employ Florida Job Matching System, case management services for people in demand, occupational training, and case management for welfare and food stamp recipients to ensure they remain in compliance with work requirements. Attorney Schuler has reviewed the documentation.
Michael, real quick, is this actually being done? Do they have an office here where they're helping these people with these jobs? and
I know
helping
people call there, and I know the website, I don't know if they have a local office, I could ask, to be very honest with you,
It
Commissioner.
says Attorney Schuler has reviewed the documentation. I mean, so evidently, everything's
That
good.
means that it's legally sufficient. It doesn't necessarily
Yeah,
mean that the contents may not be accomplishing the.
I mean, I was
purpose
just
of
wondering if they have
the
an office at the old high school, I mean,
They
are they
they used to, and I
here?
know there's a number that people call, but I can get that information for you if you, I mean, I will get that information for you, Commissioner.
It says that this is what, based on the memo, this is what they have previously done
It's
as a
what the direct
provider of
service-
direct services are.
Yeah,
I'm
this-
assuming that they are.
Yes, and that was my email to them. Tell me what your direct services are you offer to Franklin County, and that was the answer.
Okay. Pleasure of the board.
So moved.
Have a motion by Commissioner Lockton,
Second.
second by Commissioner Massey. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
My last item is board action to authorize a 5K race on St. George Island on Tuesday, July 4th, 2017. The Spritzer is the third annual fundraiser for the Franklin County School Cross Country Team. In addition to the 5K race, there will be a 1-mile fun run walk. In the same manner we've been doing in the past 2 years, I recommend your approval is contingent on the race sponsor organizer coordinating with the Sheriff's Department for traffic control and with the organizers of the 4th of July parade to avoid any conflicts. Attached are the maps and additional information. You got the map there for the fun run, and this is the one for the 5K.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Lockton. Now, are they asking us to close any roads or anything like that?
No, they
that'll be on the.
They don't. I think they get with the sheriff on that, and they get with the
The sheriff can't close no roads now. We done been into that, but they're not asking us, is what I'm saying.
I run the Chili Pepper Run, and it's run down these same streets, and the roads aren't closed.
Closed.
have
They run
problems.
down the jogging path or
No,
something?
we run down, what you do is you run down,
Is it the same?
Door Drive on the ocean, and then you come back on the bike path along.
Okay.
yeah.
And the roads are literally, legally, the roads are open to the public, but
Oh, everybody knows.
Everybody.
Okay, okay. Pleasure of the board.
So moved.
We got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Lockwood. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
That ends my report, Commissioner. Good afternoon.
All right, next will be Michael Schuler, County Attorney Report.
Taking my report out of order, just wanted to notify the board that you will be having an executive session at your next meeting on June the 6th at 1:15. That executive session is to discuss the litigation the St. Joe Company has filed against Franklin County. There's a proposed settlement for the board to consider. We'll open up in a special session. You'll then close the special session. You'll go into your executive session. You'll then have a chance to confer with myself and Attorney David Theriak, who's outside counsel on this litigation. We will then close the executive session, reopen the special meeting, at which point the board will be in a procedural position to make whatever decision you intend to make regarding the proposed settlement. The other item I have on my report is a proposal for the renewal of Dr. Snala's lease, and that there is a typo here. All the prior leases have been a 3-year extension. The letter that they have sent now is for a 5-year renewal. So the title of my item says 3-year extension, but it actually is a 5-year extension. Their current lease expires in June of 2017, is their proposal to extend that lease from June of 2017 until June 21st of 2022. Otherwise, it's the same lease that they've had for the last 6 years.
Pleasure of the board.
So move, I would like to see them get a 15 like we gave them other people in the back.
That's entirely up to the board. I mean, there's a provision for either party to terminate the lease upon 6 months' notice. So, you know, the term of the lease doesn't really, I think, is
I
not
mean, we need a
controlled.
doctor, that's the only doctor we got.
Second,
Is that to extend it to a 15-year lease?
to whatever he,
Is that what your motion was, Commissioner Lockwood, and seconded by Commissioner Massey? 15-year lease?
is that what Mr. Noah wanted?
Yeah.
Okay,
And that will coincide with the actual lease for the Panhandle players?
Right.
That does all the plays and stuff?
right.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Commissioners, that concludes my report.
We're down to commissioner comment. Everybody hungry? Say aye. Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I got something I'd like to
Go ahead.
A couple of things. One of them being, I don't think that they meant to do it, and I want to get some direction while I'm here today because I keep forgetting to do it in my day-to-day work. The Forgotten Coast Parrot Head Club on the island is trying to do several things, trying to help in our community. But one of the things they're wanting to do, they're doing it during the longest day. They're actually doing it, that's on a Thursday, they're gonna do it on Saturday. They've put together an event, but I don't think they've approached the county yet, so I don't know if there's things they need to try to, because they're also trying to do some kind of fun walk, a 5K walk, and then a volleyball tournament, you know what I mean? I just wanted to bring it up while we're here in the thing. The benefit is going to be to go to the Alzheimer's Foundation as one of the top 10 lists in America. It has absolutely no cure, so that's what they're trying to benefit. The other thing is, and Mr. Larry Hill might speak to it in a minute with public comments, but there's been some issues with several accidents over the years. I know my nephew was one of them. When you come off of Island Drive on the Highway 98 in East Point, and he's actually submitted something to, or asked the state to do a traffic study. And anyway, he'll probably talk more about that when he gets up here.
Any other commissioner comments?
I've just got one thing that I want to bring up. The consortium, the Gulf Consortium is meeting again on tomorrow at 2:00 Central Time in Fort Walton Beach. So I'll bring back the findings of that. That's when we're going to be determined on what we're going to do on RFPs and RFQs and stuff like that. And apparently we've got a new company that is taking over board duties as far as sending out notices for meetings and something called the Balmoral Company. So we'll just see how that does. I was a little bit concerned, but anyway, I'll bring back what the consortium says about what we can expect as far as money and that's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Any other commissioner comment? Public comment? Please come forward, state your name for the record.
Larry Hale, live on St. George Island. Highway 98 and Island Drive is really getting to be a serious problem. The last 5 years, I've contacted the DOT each year about possibility of a traffic light there. And they keep telling me, well, the last comment was the traffic count's not high enough. And when did they do the traffic count? They usually do it the week or 2 weeks after Labor Day, when it's graveyard dead. So they have notified me recently they plan to do a traffic counting study at the intersection for the next 60 or 90 days. They should have it complete. But Ms. Melchi told me that any kind of support we get from the county or sheriff or whatever, that would be in our favor. But we desperately need a traffic light. I know in the summertime when our customers that rent houses from me on St. George Island and many other rental companies, they're trying to come to Apalachicola and turn left on that road, it's very dangerous. School buses in the morning, and if nothing else, just to slow some of the log trucks down that go through there. I know the sheriff's trying to do a good job on it, but I've had a couple of employees. I had one employee rear-ended there about 3 years ago and almost killed him. And we've had a couple other incidences where people I know have had bad accidents there. So it's up to the pleasure of the board to maybe request that they follow through with the traffic light. I don't know what their conclusion of their study is going to be, but they seem to really find a reason not to do it year after year. They're always looking for a reason to refuse to do it, but I really think we need one. It's desperate. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Meeting adjourned.
As long as we had in a while.